What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome into the Jets Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we're going to go over what ESPN had to say about the New York Jets offseason. They were giving grades for every single NFL organization, so share with you guys what they had to say on the Jets. Then also, we're going to talk about a little secret weapon the Jets may have in the backfield for this upcoming year. But before we dive into it, I do want to get a little bit of pulse of the fan base here. If you guys are subscribed to the Jets Report, just hit me with a me down below in the comments section. We'll give you guys a shout out on a future show. And if you guys aren't subscribed, change that. Hit that subscribe button today. Post a video around the New York Jets almost every single day, and then for sure every single day once the season begins. So hit that subscribe button. But if you guys are already subscribed, give me a me down below in the comments section. All right, so ESPN's offseason grade for the New York Jets was just a solid B. And when we were doing a winners and losers recap for the Jets offseason, I gave a grade at the end of that video, and I said a B+, so I think the same here as ESPN. But they also divvied it up into three parts here. So the first part was the biggest move that the New York Jets made. And according to ESPN and Seth Walder, their biggest move was hiring head coach Aaron Glenn. Couldn't agree more with this, but first let's check out what Seth had to say, saying the most important part of the Jets offseason was them recognizing they need the reset. It started with a full regime change, Glenn as coach and Darren Muji as general manager. A given after Woody Johnson rashly fired Robert Saleh after 5 games in 2024 and followed up by firing GM Joe Douglas shortly after. And even though the Jets have not played a regular season game or even a preseason game or even have one training camp practice under Aaron Glenn, the culture has already changed. This is a no-nonsense organization. It is all about football. Everything he has talked about from the scouting combine back in almost April, going through OTAs, minicamp, rookie minicamp, the culture has completely changed. These guys are bought in. And how I know the culture has changed is because you have two guys, Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson. Both of them are looking for contract extensions, but they have been at every single practice so far because they want to go play for that new head coach, that new regime. So I just think the culture has already changed. So I agree with ESPN on that first one. And secondly, they had the move they liked. And for the New York Jets, it was them signing quarterback Justin Fields. Now, if you guys know, I'm a big fan of this move. Really just a correspondent move of letting Aaron Rodgers walk out the door. Aaron Glenn pretty much sitting Rodgers down and saying, hey, we're going to go in a different direction 15 seconds into that meeting. We covered that on a previous show, which was awesome stuff from AG. But this is what ESPN had to say on the Jets signing Justin Fields this offseason, saying, but the wise part came from when the Jets took a long shot on Fields, giving them a quarterback who is probably a one-year fill-in, but with the upside to be more. This was preferably to trying to hang on to mediocrity with Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, or Matthew Stafford, who are all at the end of their careers, and in Stafford's case, would have cost more than Fields. And I really do believe the New York Jets and Justin Fields were a perfect marriage this offseason, because I'm sure the Jets are looking at Fields and being like, hey, can he have a Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, Sam Darnold-esque resurgence in their career? I'm sure the Jets are praying that, they're on the positive side of that outcome when the last two quarterbacks, Geno and Sam Darnold, they left the Jets, went to a better organization, and their careers took off. So I know they're hoping that Fields fizzled out with the Bears, fizzled out with the Steelers, and now for the Jets with a team really trying to build around him and his strengths, that hopefully he plays some of the best ball of his NFL career so far. But the move they disliked, I kind of disagree with this. They said not extending Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. Now, the reason I disagree with this is because all the reporting is indicating that both of these deals will get done before the start of the season. Honestly, they'll probably get done over the next week and a half here, as we're filming this on July 11th, before training camp. So I really have no concerns. And I do agree, though, with ESPN and them saying they should try to get both these deals done because, the cap going up, the market's going to go up at the receiver and the cornerback position. I expect Sauce to just get $1 million more per year than what Derek Stingley got. So expect Sauce to sign a 3-year, $93 million deal. And then for Garrett Wilson, I could probably see him signing a 4 for maybe 125, 4 for 120, but we'll have to wait and see. But let me ask you guys if you just had to pick one to extend before the start of the season, who are you taking? Are you rolling with Sauce Gardner? Type his jersey number 1 down below. But if you're rolling with Garrett Wilson, give me a 5 down below in the comments section. All right, so the secret weapon I think the Jets may have, and I saw some Jets fans talking about this on Twitter, saw a couple of articles online, But they were showing some love to former fifth-round pick from this past season, Isaiah Davis, the running back. And, diving into his stats here, I see why people would view this guy as a secret weapon. I mean, on just 30 carries this past season, had 174 yards, 5.8 yards per clip there. And keep in mind, Breece Hall averaged 4.2, Braylon Allen averaged 3.5. So clearly, he was by far the best running back in terms of just a yards per carry basis, but also gained 4+ yards on 60% of his carries, 4.2 yards after contact per carry, 6 missed tackles forced, and 0 drops or fumbles for Isaiah Davis. So obviously, he came in the league year one, played pretty good football, but I think he could have a bigger workload this year, mainly because of what Aaron Glenn had to say on the Jets running backs. He was not talking about it being a duo. He was talking about this being a trio. And he said the first thing, they're big physical men. And even though this is not a physical camp, you just see the way they run. All of them have a low pad level. Breece and Braylon, man, they can really, really run. I'm not just talking about just as a runner, but as far as speed down the field, you see with them. And I'm excited about all three of those guys. I really am. I don't know if there are 3 backs in this league that have the potential like these 3, and maybe there is, but I know I'm just focusing on what we have, and I'm excited about the guys that we have here. Now, I do have some bad news potentially for Breece Hall fantasy owners. If you're in a dynasty league, or me, for example, who drafted Breece Hall 6th overall in my fantasy football draft this past season, it was a big doom for me. But I think fantasy football owners might be a little disappointed again this season. And the biggest reason why is because I think the Jets will go running back by committee this year. And that still could mean Breece could get up to like 175, 200 carries potentially. And now he'll have to average probably 5 yards a clip to get to that 1,000-yard marker. But I think this will be a running back by committee, and it should be, because we look at what Tanner Engstrad did with the Detroit Lions this past year. Also, Aaron Glenn, even though he's on the defensive side of the ball, but they went running back by committee. They had Jahmyr Gibbs. They had David Montgomery. Those guys were splitting carries, and I think the Jets will take that, but just add in Isaiah Davis, where you're hopefully, seeing Breece Hall take on that Jahmyr Gibbs role, that home run hitter. He can be electric in the passing game as well. And then you got Braylon Allen, that thumper archetype of running back, very, very similar to David Montgomery. But I do think the Jets' run game, it should be more successful this season. You have a much improved offensive line. You drafted Armand Membu with the 7th pick in the 2025 NFL draft. You got Fashanu coming back. You have a really good interior with Tippmann, Vera Tucker, and John Simpson. And then also, this is the X factor with the run game, having Justin Fields. Now, I understand the Ravens and Eagles, great offensive line, great running backs in Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. But what I think takes both those organizations' run game to a next level is having Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson, having those running dual threat quarterbacks. When you run those read options, those edge rushers just have to give that extra second just to make sure the quarterback's not going to pull it. And also, I'm just excited to see the quarterback powers for the Jets this season with Justin Fields. Even though they were 31st in terms of rushing yards per game this past season, I think they could be a top 10 unit. You got a good offensive line, you got 3 good running backs, you got a dual threat quarterback, and you have a head coach in Aaron Glenn where he's already set the identity of the football team. We're going to run the football. We're going to play some good defense. But in terms of Breece Hall, I ask you guys this. Over under 1,000 yards for Breece Hall this season. He has not eclipsed 1,000 yards in a season yet in his NFL career. He had 994 2 years ago. So he's gotten close, but you guys let me know. O for over or give me a U for under. If you guys could, hit that subscribe button on your way out. I would really appreciate it. We're trying to hit 8K subs here on the channel. So if you guys could, hit that subscribe button today. We'll see you guys next time. As always, go Jets.